The CIA is out with a new statement concluding it is likely the COVID-19 virus leaked from a Chinese lab.
What if everything you believed about the origin of COVID-19 was wrong? From the very beginning, we were led to accept that the virus emerged naturally, but now the CIA has dropped a bombshell that could completely change this narrative. A revelation that, if confirmed, exposes a game of power and interests far beyond what we ever imagined. Are you ready to question everything you know about the pandemic that changed the world? Imagine for a moment a devastating virus that paralyzed entire countries and took millions of lives, possibly being the product of something planned inside a laboratory. This is no longer just another conspiracy theory. This time, the evidence comes from one of the most powerful intelligence agencies on the planet. Why are these revelations coming to light now? Who is behind them? And most importantly, what don't they want you to know? Before we dive in, we'd like to ask for your support. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a few seconds, but it makes a world of difference to us. In this video, we'll delve into the details of this announcement that is shaking the world. We'll explore what the CIA has revealed, the clues connecting the virus to the Wuhan laboratory, and, of course, the potential impact of this possibility on politics and science. If you want to piece together this puzzle and uncover what might be behind what seems to be the biggest secret of the century, stick with me until the end. You're going to be surprised. From the very beginning of the pandemic, the origin of COVID-19 has been a subject of intense debate. The initial narrative pointed to a seafood market in Wuhan, China, where a zoonotic transmission supposedly occurred, meaning the virus naturally jumped from animals to humans. This version was widely accepted by the scientific community and promoted by major health organizations. But over the years, questions have emerged. What if the story isn't that simple? What if the virus didn't emerge naturally, but was created in a laboratory? As investigations advanced, one place, in particular, started to draw attention. The Wuhan Institute of Virology, considered one of the leading centers for coronavirus research globally, the laboratory has been at the center of theories and suspicions since the early days of the pandemic. Now, with the CIA's announcement, this possibility carries even more weight. After all, we're talking about one of the most influential intelligence agencies on the planet, with access to information most of us could never imagine. Why is this coming to light now? What did the CIA discover that strengthens these suspicions? That's exactly what we're about to uncover. Recently, the CIA made an announcement that shook the foundations of the global debate on COVID-19. In a report made public, the agency indicated that there are significant signs the virus may have been created or manipulated in a laboratory. This statement adds a new and controversial chapter to a narrative that, until now, seems settled. But what motivated the CIA to release this information? Is there something bigger behind this revelation? According to the announcement, the agency gained access to classified data pointing to experiments conducted at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, some involving coronaviruses similar to COVID-19. This data includes records of genetic studies and information about safety measures that may have failed. While the report is not yet conclusive, it raises unsettling questions. Is science being used irresponsibly? What stands out most is the timing of this revelation. Why has the CIA chosen to bring this topic to light now, years after the pandemic began? Many analysts suggest this could be a political strategy, especially given the increasing tensions between the United States and China. However, the question remains, what is the true intention behind this announcement? Are we being informed or manipulated? Among the evidence cited are documents indicating studies involving gain-of-function research, a type of experiment aimed at making viruses more transmissible or lethal to understand their evolution and develop preventive measures. Additionally, reports of security breaches at the Wuhan lab, mentioned by scientists and whistleblowers reinforce the possibility that the virus could have accidentally escaped. Combined with inconsistencies in China's official narrative, these details lend weight to the lab theory. On the other hand, many experts in the scientific community argue that the evidence is still insufficient to confirm this hypothesis. Genetic studies suggest that SARS-CoV-2 has characteristics consistent with a natural origin, such as evolution in animal species. Moreover, some accuse the CIA of presenting a biased narrative, potentially influenced by political interests. After all, in such a sensitive case, it is difficult to separate science from geopolitics. The big question is, who do we trust? While the CIA points to a scenario of laboratory manipulation, the scientific community urges caution and further investigation before drawing any conclusions. This clash between politics and science leaves the global population in a state of uncertainty without definitive answers. However, one thing is certain: whether natural or laboratory-made, the consequences of this pandemic will echo for decades, and the search for the truth must not be abandoned. If the theory that COVID-19 was created in a laboratory is confirmed, the global implications will be devastating. The relationship between science and ethics will be questioned at every level, leading to intense scrutiny of high-level laboratories and the types of research conducted in the name of prevention. Additionally, public trust in scientific institutions, already weakened during the pandemic, could take an even greater hit, casting a shadow of doubt over future technological and health advancements. The political landscape will also be deeply affected. Tensions between the United States and China, already at critical levels, could escalate into unprecedented diplomatic or economic conflicts. Mutual accusations, sanctions, and even retaliations could arise, impacting not only these two countries, but the global balance of power. The world could become even more divided, forming alliances based on political and economic interests tied to this revelation. Economically, confirming a laboratory origin could generate billions in compensation claims against China, both from governments and private companies affected by the pandemic. The impact on global supply chains, financial markets, and investor confidence would be enormous, potentially triggering a global economic crisis. Moreover, biotechnology and genetic research companies could face a loss of credibility that might take years to recover. However, the most profound impact could be on society as a whole. The pandemic has taught valuable lessons about global cooperation and crisis preparedness, but a revelation like this could undermine those advances. Fear and distrust could grow, making it harder to address future pandemics or global crises. It's as though humanity would be forced to reconsider not just its priorities, but also its relationship with progress and the risks it entails. Amid so many unanswered questions, we are left to reflect on what we truly know and what is still being hidden. The CIA's announcement not only reignites old debates, but also reminds us how truth can be a powerful or dangerous weapon, depending on who wields it. We are at a moment where it is crucial to seek information critically, avoiding simplistic or manipulated narratives. The origin of COVID-19 is not just a scientific matter. It touches on ethical, political, and human issues. Are we ready to face a truth that might be darker than we imagined? Or will the search for answers become yet another battleground for geopolitical interests, leaving the population caught in the middle of a power game? The greatest lesson we can take from all this is the importance of transparency and accountability. Regardless of where the virus came from, the impact it caused should unite us as humanity to ensure something like this never happens again. But to achieve that, we must continue questioning, investigating, and above all, demanding the truth, whatever it may be. Now that you've seen all this, what do you think about this possibility? Was COVID-19 really created in a lab, or are we witnessing yet another move on the grand chessboard of global power? Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel to keep up with impactful content like this. The truth is out there, and together, we'll uncover it.